meet you. I lost my tab. I'm trying to get back here now. So my name is Vanessa. I work at Cornerstone. We're an early stage pre-seed and seed focused fund here in the UK. Average ticket size around 400K. And generalist fund investing across the board. So yeah, I can probably tell you more about that like later on another time. But I would love to hear more about yourself and what
Yep.
you.
So nice to meet you. So I'm Charles, co-founder and CEO of TextMine. My background's in engineering. I was working at a machine learning spin out in Oxford 4.5 years ago. And I reached out to my co-founder, Amber, whose background is in legal. She was working at a medtech in Oxford as well, in-house as a paralegal. And effectively, we realized that businesses were wasting a lot of time manually extracting data from their contracts. So we sort of developed a data management solution for their contracts. And since then, we've realized that actually this goes beyond legal to other departments such as procurement, finance, and also compliance. And so, we've sort of added a whole range of documents and can sort of automate the extraction of this information quite effectively. I can go down all sorts of rabbit holes, but maybe I'll just pause there.
Yeah, I guess just like first question before we go into the product, just you guys as team, how do you guys decide on this? Or I guess what was sort of the motivation for this being an area that you wanted to build in?
So as I said, Amber's background's in legal, and my background's in engineering, but I was sort of a solutions consultant. So I was on the opposite side of the sort of data contract problem. So I was waiting for legal to provide answers to questions about contracts, and Amber was on the sort of management side, or the sort of the collecting the data side, so responding to queries. We just felt like it was not very efficient. Businesses, even large enterprises have all their contracts in various folders, SharePoints, etc. And it's a constant waste of effort and manual resources to answer very basic questions about contracts.
Okay, sounds good. And I guess with the product, where are you guys now in the development of it? Tell me more about the journey.
So the initial product which we developed when we started the company is called Legislate, and that's more on the sort of data management side. I guess throughout the past 3 years, we've done a lot of market research, and really built a lot of domain expertise around how a contract structured, how a various sort of documents connected to contract structured. And in March, we launched Vault, which is sort of our extraction module, which is powered by our own large language models that we self-host and have fine-tuned on our own database of over 100,000 records. And so that model is live. We've already got 3 large enterprise customers using it to structure their contracts, purchase orders, change requests, a whole suite of documents. And we're also right now in a POC with a US bank, and that's sort of with their KYC team, so helping them onboard clients faster. So there's really a broad range of use cases, but we're seeing a lot of traction with large enterprises in procurement, with their procurement teams or their KYC teams. And we're also seeing quite a strong pull from the US.
Cool. And with those, because you mentioned you spent some time with having those customer conversations, understanding them, the insights. Can you maybe share what are some of the unique insights you gained that you feel like you as a team set yourself apart from other companies? Because there are a few kind of AI-driven companies trying to build contract documentation and so on. So I get that this question goes more into the USP.
Yeah, so the key thing is, although we do have document generation capabilities, really where we focus is on the extraction of data from documents. So any workflow within an enterprise that requires somebody to manually go through a long document and answer questions about it and copy paste that information into a spreadsheet is a workflow that we sort of automate. In terms of what we found with other companies, is a lot of them are using OpenAI or Anthropic or other APIs, which severely handicaps them, and because a lot of these enterprise clients don't want to upload their contracts to OpenAI or Anthropic, even if there's sort of enterprise agreements with OpenAI or Anthropic. It's just too sensitive data to upload. So we've gone the longer route of sort of working with open source models, fine tuning them, building our own database, and sort of doing a lot of enhancements to the processing pipeline. And because of that, it means that we're actually able to sort of deal with these documents that are too sensitive for these other APIs. And I'd say the other differentiator, and we sort of see this, as a lot of other vendors might say, you can upload 20,000 documents and you'll get your results in 8 weeks. And what that means is actually it's human in the loop. And they'll have an offshore team doing manual review. And again, that's not something that a lot of these enterprise clients want to do. They want to be able to get instant results. And if they want to review the results, they want to do it themselves. And so that's something that we are able to offer.
Okay, that sounds great. Maybe you could tell me a little bit more about kind of the enterprise contracts that you guys have now, how that came about, if you can tell me more about the value and so on.
Yep. So we've got a global law firm headquartered in London. I guess one other differentiator, which I forgot to say, is that we also have a public API offering of our extraction. And so this API is powering their back office. We've got the procurement team of the world's largest advertising agency using us to sort of identify rebates that they're not claiming, keep on top of renewals, keep on top of change requests. And we've got the legal team of a New York listed battery maker using us. And I'd say the key thing is, we're connecting legal, finance, and procurement. There's a lot of sort of synergies that we're sort of unlocking, and there's a whole range of use cases that we can solve. So, for example, one use case in procurement is they can't pay invoices unless they have an invoice, a purchase order, and a statement of goods which sort of align. And 30% of invoices aren't paid on time because information has been incorrectly copy pasted or inputted. And that's one of the challenges. The other challenge is figuring out, why was this invoice not paid? Where is the issue? And with our extraction, we're able to sort of connect the dots between those documents.
And what are some of all the different use cases, after speaking with potential customers, what do you see as kind of the most enticing proposition that you're looking to kind of double more on?
Yeah, I mean, I think to a certain extent, there are so many use cases that we can solve that is what's enticing these enterprise clients. I think there is a fatigue of buying another SaaS that can only do one thing, and they want to have a versatile extraction solution that can sort of be used by different teams. And I think to be able to sort of address all these different use cases, we're going to be deploying very soon our own agents that will basically be able to autonomously solve those use cases, starting with paralegals, junior procurement roles, etc. Those are sort of the roles that we'll be looking to automate with agents.
Yeah. And I guess with that, I mean, what are some of the big challenges, I guess, like technical challenges or biggest challenges that you're kind of looking to solve or building for right now?
Yeah, so I think, first of all, to do agents, the extraction needs to be highly accurate and very effective. Otherwise, there's no point, building workflows on top. So we invest a lot in the accuracy of the model, making sure that it delivers the accuracy that our clients are expecting. But the other aspect is, a lot of our enterprise clients are global. And so, they're processing documents in many languages. And so we already support over 10 languages right now. But we're sort of going to be pushing. We've just won a grant from Innovate UK to sort of push a bit more on Mandarin. So that we'll be adding more languages.
Okay, cool. And with those enterprise, so it's going a little bit back and forth between products and market, but with those enterprise customers, are those, because you mentioned law firms, are those the type that you specifically target, or can you tell me more about your ICP and the profile?
Yeah, so the ICP is an enterprise with at least 500 million in revenue, or a dedicated team that is just doing manual document data extraction. So, for example, there's a fractional accounting company based in the UK that has a team of 30 just reviewing and extracting information from 1,000 client contracts every week, and that team costs them £1 million a year. And this is a business with a turnover of £40 million. So, yeah, it's either big enterprise with at least 500 million in revenue, or any business that has a dedicated team that is costing them £1 million a year to process and extract information from documents.
And the sales strategy, is it, I guess, like you, or how do you guys identify them, the ones that you want to target next, and sort of who's doing what in the team?
Yep. So we reach out to enterprises that match that ICP criteria. So we've got SDRs, we've got email campaigns, cold calling campaigns, LinkedIn outreach. So that sort of has been delivering a good stream of demos. We've done over 180 demos since launching in March. And what we've also found to be quite effective, specifically with procurement, is sponsoring very targeted procurement events, and that's been great.
Cool. So I guess just for the last minutes, talking more about how much you're fundraising now, and what are some of the goals that you've kind of have aligned with the funding that you're looking to raise?
Yeah, so we're looking to raise $10 million. There's still a lot of product development that we need to do, just based on a lot of these demands from enterprise clients. But I'd say what I'm most excited about, and what we're most excited about, is expanding to the US, because we definitely feel like in Europe there's sort of an aversion to AI because there's potential risks, whereas in the US, there's a fear of not using AI, and therefore we find that conversations move a lot faster.
Yeah, and could you maybe tell me more about your expansion plan? Like, once you have the money in the bank, how do you look to expand into the US?
Yeah, so we're already doing outreach to the US from the UK. And we've already got a couple of US clients, and that's something that we'll continue to do. But I think we're going to work with a outsourced sales agency to sort of also be our sort of foot on the ground, and then my co-founder and I will probably look to spend more time in the US.
Okay, awesome. That sounds great. It was really great to talk to you and hear. I mean, I would love to, if you have a deck that you can send over. It would be great to have a further look.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Okay, great. Awesome. I don't know how this works now, if we just end the call or.